Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in today. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Newton North High School in Newton, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of today's high school varsity baseball contest between the hosting Tigers of Newton North High and the visiting Brookline High Warriors. Well, it's another Brookline versus Newton North contest on our hands here today. And anyone who follows either of these two schools knows that when it's Brookline against Newton North, you can always expect an entertaining contest. And this one should be no different. These two teams played in Brookline earlier this year in a game that came down to the wire. Brookline held a 7-6 lead going into the seventh and final inning before Newton North rallied for 4 runs in the final frame to earn a 10-7 win. That contest kind of mirrored when these two teams faced off for the first time last year. Last year, the first contest was here at Newton North. And again, Brookline held a lead going into the seventh, lead of, I believe, 5-4. But Newton North rallied in the bottom of the seventh to win on a walk-off, 6-5. Sandwiched around those two close contests was last year's game in Brookline. That was the regular season finale and Brookline's senior day game, and Newton North spoiled all the fun in that one. Won in 6 innings, I believe 12-2 was the final score, as Newton North won via mercy rule. So Brookline hoping to spoil the fun for Newton North here on their home soil and avenge their past few losses. It is Brookline against Newton North. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan here at Newton North High School, and you are watching Brookline High Baseball.
Jernigan launches this one deep to left. Left fielder on his horse, looking back,
It's off the wall! Runner immediately taking off. Hard hit right at first! Polgreen's got the double play. Hits it. It skips past the third baseman. In comes Brendel. Melton wins it for Brookline! Newton North out here warming up in the field as we will soon be getting this game underway. Contest with some heavy implications for at least one of these two teams. Brookline standing at 4-14 and 49th in the most recent power rankings in Division I. But Newton North comes into this contest with a record of 8-10, ranked 33rd in the power rankings. So Newton North trying to win their last 2 games of the year so they can try and clinch themselves one of the last playoff spots in Division I. A loss here could prove costly. A loss here would guarantee Newton North finish below 500 in their regular season record with 11 losses, and a loss to a lower ranked team like Brookline could potentially knock them out of the running in the power rankings, as they are currently on the outside looking in. So a big potential contest for Newton North. Brookline with a chance to play spoiler against their local rival. we'll see how this one shakes out. Remember, as always, if you end up enjoying this live stream, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. Tomorrow I'm going to be on the volleyball court back in Brookline for Brookline Boys Volleyball's Senior Day game against Newton South. And then I'll be back on the diamond on Friday out in Cambridge as Brookline wraps up their season against the Falcons of Cambridge Ringe. So be sure to stay tuned for those. And then, of course, playoffs start next week. And while the baseball team might not be destined for a trip to the playoffs, there are some other Brookline teams who will be playing some postseason ball. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Subscribe to the channel can't help. And of course, if there's anything you'd like to say, I encourage you to say it in the live chat. Could be as simple as go Brookline or go Newton North, go Warriors or go Tigers. We don't care who you're rooting for. We appreciate good vibes and support for these kids in the live chat. And if you want to shout out your support to a specific kid, maybe you're tuning in to watch a family member or a friend, you want to give them a shout out in the live chat, that's plenty good reason. If you want to let us know where it is you're tuning in from with these online live streams, that can be pretty fun. Folks can tune in from all over the world. If you notice any technical difficulties going on with the live stream, please let me know. You know, it might be something I don't notice on my end, and it might be something that I can fix. You know, we've had our ups and downs with our Wi-Fi connectivity out here in Newton with my previous live streams. So far, so good, and no signs of trouble, and hoping that sticks. But if it doesn't and things get egregiously bad, you can let me know in the live chat. I am recording this while streaming it, so I do have a backup version in case things go wrong with the stream. And then, of course, if you notice me mispronouncing any kids' names or if I have any jersey numbers wrong on my roster, please, I encourage you to correct me in the live chat. I want to give these young men the best coverage I possibly can, and to me, part of that means getting their names right. And on that note, let's go over those names, starting with the home team, Newton North High Tigers. Leading off for the Tigers today, the shortstop, number 24, Miles OO. Batting second, the second baseman, number 6, Ryan Huckabone. Batting third, the first baseman, number 25, Danny Tambasia. Batting cleanup, the third baseman, number 14, Sam Perrone. Batting fifth, the center fielder, number 1, Dominic Mayoka. Batting sixth, the designated hitter, number 34, Daniel Human. Batting seventh, the right fielder, number 22, Mike Rogan. Batting eighth, the catcher, number 11, Kyle Hurley. Batting ninth, the left fielder, number 4, Luke Dietz. And not in the batting order, but starting on the mound today for Newton North, number 7, Victor Kyra. That is the starting lineup for the hosting Newton North High Tigers. Now let's move over to the visitors and look at the starting lineup for the visiting Brookline High Warriors. Leading off for Brookline, the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. Batting second, the center fielder, number 3, Ryan Kravitz. Batting third, the right fielder, number 23, Elias Brendel. Batting cleanup, the left fielder, number 20, Harrison Siegel. Batting fifth and starting on the mound for Brookline today, number 12, Connor Jernigan. Batting sixth, the third baseman, number 11, Nate Kessler. Batting seventh, the catcher, number 14, Avery Melton. Batting eighth, the first baseman, number 16, Sam Polgreen. And batting ninth, the shortstop, number 13, Felix Ham. Head coaches for today for Newton North, James Greeley, and for Brookline, Brendan O'Connor. So those are our starting lineups for today. We got our first note in the live chat from one of our regular viewers, Barbara Jo Metzger. Go Brookline High Warriors from Buffalo, New York. Always a joy seeing you tune in, Barbara. Thanks for tuning in and continuing to support Brookline High baseball. As you can see, the Tigers finished up their pregame warm-ups, and soon they will head out onto the field for their official first inning warm-ups. Things in a bit of a unique order today. Usually, the home team will warm up first, and then the visitors will do their pregame warm-ups, and then the home team will come back out. You know, just sort of a natural rhythm to it. But this time they decided to do things in a different order. And so Newton North effectively warming up twice in a row. Coaches meeting at home plate to give their respective teams' lineups to the officials. Beautiful day for baseball right now. Temperature up in the 70s. No clouds in the sky as of yet, but there is a good chance of rain later tonight. If this game runs long, we could potentially see some rain in the final innings, which would be a bit of deja vu from last year's contest that was played out here at Newton North. As in last year's game in Newton, there was rain off and on throughout the game, but it was mostly light rain throughout the day until the 7th inning when it started a torrential downpour. And in the end, that was the bottom of the 7th when that started, and that was the inning where Newton North rallied to get their walk-off victory. But of course, if the earlier contest between these two teams is any indication, these Tigers don't need a rainstorm in order to put together a late inning rally. And right now they're trying to put together a late season rally, secure some wins here at the end of the season so they can try and secure themselves a playoff spot. Brookline already eliminated from the playoffs. At this point, just playing for pride and love of the game. But today, perhaps a little extra motivation to play spoiler for their local rival. Top of the first, we see Victor Kyra warming up on the mound for Newton North. He will be facing the top of Brookline's order, Keenan Sawada, Ryan Kravitz, and Elias Brendel. Kyra was the starting pitcher last time these two teams faced off in Brookline. Had a rough outing, pitched 4 1/3 innings, gave up 10 hits and 7 runs, 5 of those runs earned, 2 walks, 2 hit by pitches, and 5 strikeouts. So Kyra looking for a better outing here today, although his team did get the win in that last matchup by a final score of 10-7. But now we start off this one, leading off for Brookline, the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. Kyra sets. First pitch of the game. High and outside, ball 1. Sawada, as you can see, 15 for 51 with 1 double, 13 walks, 8 steals, 4, and that's going to be a pop-up to first. And Tom Basia is under that one for out number 1. Quick first out for Kyra and the Tigers. Now stepping in, the center fielder, number 3, Ryan Kravitz. First pitch comes in high, ball 1. Kravitz, one of Brookline's 7 seniors that played on senior day on Monday against Milton. As Kravitz hits a high hopper, that's going over the third baseman and into left field. Kravitz with a 1-out hit. One runner on, and now up comes the right fielder, number 23, Elias Brendel. Kravitz over at first. That senior day game for Brookline on Monday against Milton did not go as well as they might have hoped, as this pitch is in for a strike. The Milton Wildcats defeated the Brookline Warriors in 5 innings, 12-1, as Brookline was trying to give as much playing time to their seniors as possible. Kravitz had a productive day, 2 for 3 at the plate, and now he's got another hit here in the first. He stands at first base. And there's an attempted pickoff throw to keep Kravitz honest. One and one, the count to Brendel. That one curves in for strike 2. Brendel, 6 for 25 this season with 1 double, 6 walks, 4 steals, 3 runs scored, and 5 RBI. He was 2 for 3 with a walk and an RBI, double, a walk, and an RBI last time against Kyra, as he takes ball 2 there. So Brendel facing the one pitcher he's gotten an extra base hit off of, facing a 2-2 count. Throw back to first, and again Kravitz dives back. Count remains 2-2. And that hits him. Brendel gets plunked. And we've got 2 runners on now with 1 out here in the first. Now batting, the left fielder, number 20, Harrison Siegel. Speaking of hit by pitches, this is the king of hit by pitch at the plate for Brookline right now, as he takes strike 1 there. Siegel's been hit 8 times this season, leads the team. He also shares the team lead in RBI with 6. Swing and a miss there. Got fooled by the off speed for strike 2. Runners at first and second, 1 down, 0-2 the count to Siegel. And he swings and misses that time. And Siegel goes down on strikes. Now with 2 down, up comes the pitcher, number 12, Connor Jernigan. First pitch, and he lines it right to the shortstop. 0-0 pulls that in, and that is going to be out number 3. So Brookline threatens but cannot score in the first inning. We move to the bottom of the first, scoreless here at Newton North. It'll be the top of the order coming up for Newton North, O.O., Huckabone, and Tombasia. And we see heading out on the mound to warm up for Brookline, starting pitcher number 12, Connor Jernigan. Looking at his stats so far this season, Jernigan leads Brookline in games started on the mound. This marks his 8th this year. Also leads the team in innings pitched, or is tied for the team lead in innings pitched, I should say, at 19.1. Leads the team in pitching strikeouts with 25. Has a win-loss record of 1-4 with a 5.79 ERA and a 2.28 WHIP. Unlike Kyra, Jernigan was not the pitcher for Brookline last time these two teams faced off. It was Nico Hart last time. But now Jernigan getting the start on the hill. He'll be facing off against Newton North lineup that had a very productive offensive day against Brookline last time. As I said, finished with a 10-7 win. First batter due up here in the top of the in the bottom of the first. Miles 0-0 went 2 for 2 with an RBI last time. Ryan Huckabone, second batter, was 2 for 3 with a walk, a double, 2 runs scored, and an RBI, and he also had a stolen base. And then the third batter, Tombasia, was 1 for 4 with a run. Now batting the shortstop, number 24, Miles 0-0. First pitch from Jernigan in there for strike 1. That pitch is low for ball 1. This pitch is hit hard, and it's going to go through the gap into right. A leadoff single for Miles 0-0. Still perfect at the plate against Brookline so far this season. And that puts a leadoff runner on for the Tigers. Now batting the second baseman, number 6, Ryan Huckabone. Huckabone launches the first pitch out to left. Siegel on his horse, and he's not going to catch up with that one. That's going to go for extra bases. 0-0 rounding third, heading for home. Huckabone heading down to third, and he's got an RBI triple. An explosive start to the inning for Newton North. One pitch, one big swing from Ryan Huckabone. And with no outfield fences out here at Newton North, that ball could just keep going and going. And he goes all the way around to third for an RBI triple. Now batting the first baseman, number 25, Danny Tambasia. First pitch to Tambasia misses for ball one. Nobody out, a runner at third, and Newton North already with a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the first. That one in there for strike one. This one's hit into the field, fielded by Sawada. He is going to go to first, and they are going to get out number one, but Huckabone is going to come in to score on the RBI ground out by Tambasia. Now batting the third baseman, number 14, Sam Perrone. First pitch in there for a strike. And I like the decision from Sawada to go to first instead of going for home. You know, I think the grounder was just a little too deep that time, and now Sawada charges in and fields another 4-3 ground out. And just like that, 2 down in the inning. Like I was saying, I think, you know, if that had been maybe a more shallow, little faster grounder to second, maybe if he was playing in on the infield a little more, then maybe they could have gone to home on the fielder's choice, but better to take the out at first, as now they've got 2 outs following a pair of ground outs. First pitch in there for strike one. At the plate for Newton North is the center fielder, number 1, Dominic Mayoka. That's strike 2. See, I think now with the bases empty, you know, I think Jernigan's been able to settle in and recover from those first 2 big swings. This one's a dribbler over to first, fielded by Polgreen himself, and he takes it to first for out number 3. Couple of hitters appear to be jammed inside by Jernigan's pitches to close out that inning. But ultimately, the first inning belongs to Newton North. Our score after 1, the Newton North Tigers 2, the Brookline High Warriors 0. Miles Oo and Ryan Huckabone lead off with a single and a triple, respectively. And then Huckabone came in on an RBI ground out by Tambasia to get the scoring started here in the first inning. Now due up in the top of the second for Brookline will be the 6, 7, 8 hitters, Kessler, Melton, and Polgreen. Brookline was able to get a couple of base runners on in the top of the first. But one of the big struggles for Brookline this season has been finding the timely hits to bring runners home. Well, they'll certainly be trying to bring some home here in this inning. Starting off with the third baseman, number 11, Nate Kessler. First pitch misses, ball 1. Kessler, a senior just like Kravitz, and he's had a pretty productive year. 9 for 34, 1 double, 7 walks, 2 hit by pitch, 1 steal, 6 runs, 3 RBI as he takes ball 2 there. And he takes ball 3. 3 close misses. And that one does catch the corner for strike 1. 3-1, the count to Kessler. And that one is going to be fouled into the netting for strike 2. Kessler hits a high chopper foul up the third base line, and the count remains full. That one almost reminiscent of Kravitz's single in the first inning that took a high hop off the infield grass over the third baseman. That one comes in high, and Kessler battles his way to a leadoff walk. Brookline hitters still trying to apply pressure here. Now coming up, the catcher, number 14, Avery Melton. Melton so far this season, 7 for 33, 4 walks, 1 hit by pitch, 1 stolen base, 1 run scored, and 3 RBI. Shows bunt and whiffs on the bunt. Throw back to first. Kessler gets back safely. I've said it before and I'll say it again. There is an art to bunting, especially at this level. So critical to be able to lay that down properly and move runners along, maybe even reach safe yourself. Shows bunt again, lays it down properly this time, picked up by Kyra and flipped to first for out number 1. But Melton does his job cleanly there. Sack bunt moves Kessler into scoring position. Now coming up, the first baseman, number 16, Sam Polgreen. Polgreen still searching for his first hit of the year. 0-10 so far this season with 1 hit by pitch. That one comes in high, and it's dropped by the catcher. Kessler thought about it, but ultimately retreats back to second. If Kessler had gone with no hesitation on that one, he might have been able to make it. Would have been close. But once you've hesitated on a play like that, you have to go back to the bag. If you stop and think for a second, you're not going to make it on a play like that. That pitch also going to miss for ball 2. And Polgreen fouls this one off over the netting and onto the road and just misses a moving car. Strike 1. That pitch is going to miss for ball 3. Runner at second, 1 down. 3-1, the count to Polgreen. And he bloops this one into foul territory, and it's tracked by Tom Basia for out number 2. Now coming up, the shortstop, number 13, Felix Ham. Ham playing in just his second career varsity game after he made his debut on Monday against Milton as a late season call-up from the freshman team. Flashed some skills with the glove over at short Now hoping he can do something here at the plate. 2 down, runner at second. That one high and inside for ball 2. Ham fouls this one off and out of play. That'll be strike 1. And Kyra steps off the rubber to keep Kessler honest over at second. And this pitch fouled off by Ham for strike 2. 2-2 the count. 2 down, runner at second here in the top of the second. And fouled off again. Ham stays alive. Ham reaches out, pops it up. This one's going to stay in play. And Kyra is under it for out number 3. Brookline leaves another runner stranded and cannot get on the board. Going into the bottom of the second, score still Newton North 2, Brookline 0. Due up in the bottom of the second for Newton North will be their 6, 7, and 8 hitters, Human, Rogan, and Hurley. And you know, when you see that Brookline and Newton North sent the exact same number of hitters to the plate in the first inning, but one team comes away with 2 runs and one comes away with nothing, can be a little frustrating, but that is the difference that one big swing of the bat can make, as that big triple by Huckabone really made a huge difference. Excuse me. Warm-ups are done. We begin the bottom of the second. Leading off for Newton North, the designated hitter, number 34, Daniel Human. This one is fouled off for strike 1. That one misses outside for ball 1. That one also misses outside for ball 2. Human last time against Brookline was a pinch hitter. He finished 0 for 1. Skies this one down the right field side. Brendel on his horse chasing, and didn't want to risk colliding with the fence. And honestly, I don't think he would have been able to reach it even if he went full gas the whole way. But one thing you can guarantee is if he went full gas the whole way, that would have been a dangerous collision with the fence. 2-2, the count to Human. Hits a dribbler foul up the third base side. Human still alive at 2-2. Swing and a miss. Jernigan gets him on strikes. One down in the inning. First strikeout of the day so far for the Brookline team leader in strikeouts. And this first pitch in there for another strike. At the plate for Newton North is the right fielder, number 22, Mike Rogan. And this one fouled right to the Brookline dugout. That'll be strike 2. Rogan had an explosive day against Brookline earlier this season. Only 1 for 5, but that one was a 2-run home run. But here he goes down on strikes. Jernigan gets him chasing that curve. And after back-to-back strikeouts, there are 2 down. Now up the catcher, number 11, Kyle Hurley. First pitch, strike 1. Brief timeout. Now back into the box. That one is high for ball 1. Hurley last time against Brookline 2 for 3 with a walk, a run scored, and 2 RBI. Swing and a miss, and that's strike 3. I missed a strike there while I was checking the stats. But Jernigan, 1, 2, 3, all on strikes. Second time this season we've seen him strike out the side. Strong response from the Brookline pitcher. And through 2, our score still Newton North 2, Brookline 0. Top of the order will be coming back to the plate for Brookline here in the top of the third. Sawada, Kravitz, and Brendel. Kyra back on the mound. He's pitched 2 shutout innings so far. He's given up 1 hit, 1 walk, and 1 hit by pitch in terms of base runners, but hasn't allowed anyone to get further than second. Sawada will be first to the box for Brookline. He led off the first inning with a pop out to first. He'll be hoping for a more productive at-bat, something more reminiscent of the day he had against Newton North earlier this season. In that earlier game, Sawada finished 3 for 5 with a stolen base, a run scored, and 2 RBI. And he's hoping to start off this inning well. First pitch, and he chases low, hits a dribbler over to second, fielded cleanly, thrown to first. He beat it! Sawada beat the throw to first. Not often you see an infield single to the second baseman And the Newton North coach coming out to discuss the call. And again, you can understand it is rare that you see a grounder to the second baseman turn into an infield single. You know, maybe if it's a deep grounder to short or over to third, you can see a guy legging it out, but over to second is rare. So kudos to Sawada for hustling his way down the baseline. And now with a leadoff runner at first, up comes the center fielder, number steals this season. Kravitz shows bunt, pulls back, takes ball one. Kravitz hit a single, a high bouncer that went over the third baseman's head into left field, but he was left stranded at second. Showing bunt all the way. Pulling back at the last second again for ball two. Shows bunt and fouls this one off for strike one. Two and one, now the count to Kravitz. Shows bunt and fouls it off again. 2 and 2, now the count. And after a couple of fouls like that, you got to imagine that Kravitz is now going to be forced to swing. And Kravitz, a delayed swing, bloops it out to right. Right fielder chasing, and he's got it for out number one. So Brookline unable to move the runner. One down in the inning. Now up the right fielder, number 23, Elias Brendel. Brendel, his last time up, was hit by a pitch, but was left stranded at first. Brendel swings, lifts it out to center, but right at the center fielder. And that's going to be out number two. Sawada dives back to first. And that'll be two down. It's good contact just right at a fielder. So now with a runner at first and two down, up comes the left fielder, number 20, Harrison Siegel. Sawada taking off, ball's in for a high ball one, and that pitch, that throw down to second rather, bounced right off of Sawada's foot for a successful steal. Brookline puts a runner in scoring position for the third straight inning, but they've been unsuccessful thus far in bringing those runners home. Want to know the count to Siegel. He went down on strikes his last time up. Hoping to do something here to keep this inning going. And Kyra turns around to check on Sawada, but makes no throw. That pitch just misses ball two. 2-0, the count to Siegel. And now Siegel skies this one out to left field, and it's going to be out of play for a foul ball. 2-1, the count. And Kyra steps off the rubber briefly to check on Sawada. Kyra again steps off the rubber. Checking back at second a lot. Clearly feeling the presence of the speedy Brookline runner Sawada at second. Siegel fouls this one off to the backstop, strike 2. And he chases that one high, strike 3. For the third straight inning, Brookline leaves a runner stranded in scoring position. Still no score from the Warriors thus far as they trail the Tigers going into the bottom of the third, 2-0. Due up for Newton North will be the 9-1-2 hitters, Dietz, Oo, and Huckabone. Got another note in the live chat from Jesse Herring, watching from Fresno, California. Thanks for tuning in, Jesse. Happy to see someone tuning in from the opposite coast, and happy to see another Jesse. That's always fun. Jernigan back on the mound. Coming off a very strong second inning where he struck out the side. And hoping to keep a strong performance on the mound going so that his team can stay in this one. Leading off now for Newton North, the left fielder, number 4, Luke Dietz. Shows bunt, lays it down. Jernigan might not grab it in time, and he won't. A well-placed drag bunt up the first base line by Luke Dietz gives the Tigers a leadoff runner. So both teams start off the third inning with an infield single. And now with a runner on first, we cycle back to the top of the Newton North order for number 24, shortstop Miles Oo, as he takes high ball 1. Not sure how his last name is pronounced. It's spelled O-O, literally just 2 O's. As he hits a liner foul at the first baseline, for strike 1. And you can hear the dugout kind of saying "ooh," so I'm not sure if that's the correct pronunciation. If there are any Newton North fans tuning in, feel free to correct me in the live chat as they check it first, and Dietz dives back safe. That's a throw down to first. I didn't see what the call on the pitch was. I think it was a ball, which would make the count 2-1, but you know, if we see another strike and the guy walks away, we'll know I was wrong. Okay, I was right. That last pitch was a ball, as there is strike 2. Miles Ooh, his last time up, he got a single, later scored. Now facing a 2-2 count, another throw back to first. And again, Dietz dives back safely. Another throw back to first. And again, Dietz dives back. And another throw back to first. I mean, these are some close calls, but Dietz is diving back safe every time. This one is fouled down the first base side off a pole. Actually ricocheted into play, but that's not how the rules work. That's still a foul ball. And this one is tipped as well, and Ooh continues to battle, staying alive at 2-2. Another throw back to first. And again, Dietz diving back well. The throws from Jernigan have been good. The tags from Polgreen have been good. But Dietz still getting back as this one is lifted foul and over the backstop as Ooh continues to battle at the plate. This one lifted out to right and foul again. This man refuses to go down without a fight. Still a 2-2 count. Now lifts this one in fair territory into right field. Brendel comes in and snags it. And finally, Brookline able to get out number one. One down, runner at first. And now up comes the second baseman, number 6, Ryan Huckabone. Huckabone's had the biggest hit of the day so far. Runner is taking off. That pitch is a strike, and the throw is not going to be in the time to catch Dietz. So after all those attempted pickoffs, Dietz still takes off and steals second. That pitch to Huckabone was a strike. And there's another strike, 0-2 the count. Huckabone launched that RBI triple out to right center his last time up back in the first inning, and later came in to score as that one comes in low for ball one. So Huckabone has played a role in all of Newton North's 2 runs so far. Jernigan takes a beat off the rubber. Now stares back in. Fouled off by Huckabone, still alive, 1-2. This one is contacted over to third. Kessler fields it, throws over to first. They got the out. They decide not to throw back to third. Dietz does advance on the 5-3 ground out by Huckabone. Now with 2 down and a runner at third, up comes the first baseman, number 25, Danny Tambasia. That pitch misses low for ball one. Tambasia, his last time up, got an RBI ground out to second that drove in Huckabone. But a ground out's not in the picture here with 2 outs. That one catches the inside corner for strike one. This one's lifted out to left. Siegel chasing, out of his reach. Run's going to come in on that one. Tambasia running down to second with an RBI double. Newton North adds to their lead with a 2-out double that brings in Dietz. It's now a 3-0 score, as up comes the third baseman, number 14, Sam Perrone, as he takes ball one there. Perrone, his last time up, grounded out to second. Now up with 2 down, and Tambasia at second. That pitch just misses as well, ball 2. That one is going to miss for ball 3. That one in there for strike one. 3-1 now the count to Perrone. And that one's going to miss for ball 4. Perrone draws a free pass. The first one that Jernigan has issued so far today. And now coming up, the center fielder, number 1, Dominic Maioka. Maioka last time up grounded out to first to end the first inning. Got a meeting of the infield and the coach here. Still sticking with Jernigan so far. This one is going to be fouled off for strike one by Maioka. This one's a hard grounder towards the middle, fielded by Sawada, flipped to Ham at second, and that's going to be out number 3. One run comes across in the third inning for Newton. The Tigers 3, the Warriors 1. The Warriors 0, excuse me. Slipped up on that one there. 3-0 is the score. Due up for Brookline will be the 5, 6, 7 hitters, Jernigan, Kessler, and Melton. Kyra back on the mound. He's pitched 3 shutout innings so far. Even though he's allowed a runner to reach second base each of the past 3 innings, Brookline has not been able to bring anyone home so far. Stepping into the box to lead off for Brookline, the pitcher, number 12, Connor Jernigan. Jernigan, his last time up, he lined out to short. Takes strike one there. Jernigan actually did not play for Brookline the last time they faced Newton North. As he hits this one, again fielded by Ooh over at short. So 2 straight lineouts to short for Jernigan so far, and that's the first out of the 4th. Now up the third baseman, number 11, Nate Kessler. Kessler takes strike one. His last time up, Kessler led off the second inning with a walk. Got to second, but was left stranded. Lifts this one. It might be playable. It's being tracked by Perron, and he cannot reach it. That'll be strike 2 for Kessler. Wind might have caught that one a bit. There is a small breeze blowing out here at Newton. As we are due for some nighttime rain today. That pitch gonna just miss for ball 1. 1-2 now the count. That one skips in the dirt for ball 2. And Kessler fouls this one off, stays alive at 2-2. That one is a high ball 3. Kessler has battled his way from an 0-2 count to a full count now. And again, Kessler fouls it off. And Kessler lifts this one out to left. It's being tracked out and left, and it's caught for out number 2. Two down, bases empty. Up comes the catcher, number 14, Avery Melton. First pitch taken for strike 1. Last time up, Melton laid down a sac bunt. So technically he's 0 for 0 so far today. Swing and a miss there, got fooled by the off speed, strike 2. That pitch comes in high for ball 1. That one misses as well, ball 2. And Melton chases that one for strike 3. Kyra puts the Brookline hitters down in order for the first time in the top of the 4th. We move to the bottom half of the inning. Newton North leading 3-0. Jernigan back on the mound for a 4th inning of work. He's had a solid outing so far, even if it hasn't been a perfect one. Outside of a couple of big swings of the bat, he's been doing a largely good job. The triple by Huckabone and the double by Tombasia really making the difference here. Due up here in the bottom of the 4th for Newton North will be the 6, 7, 8 hitters, Human, Rogan, and Hurley. And we've got a pinch hitter, actually, for Newton North. Start off the inning. Batting in place of number 34, Daniel Human, is going to be number 12, Caden Pellon. And he hits a chopper over to second, fielded by Sawada, thrown to first in time for out number 1. One down, and now up comes the right fielder, number 22, Mike Rogan. First pitch, he chases, strike 1. Next one in the dirt for ball 1. And you could tell that one just got completely away from Jernigan from his reaction. 1-1, the count to Rogan. Rogan, his last time up, he went down on strikes. Hard hit here. Oh my gosh, that was caught by Jernigan. Swift glove from the Brookline hurler to get out number 2. And now up, the catcher, number 11, Kyle Hurley. That's a high ball 1. That's a low ball 2. Hurley, like Rogan and Human as well, went down on strikes back in the 2nd inning when Jernigan struck out the side. But now a hit that goes off Jernigan's body. He chases it down, throws wildly, misses first, and Hurley's going to head down to second on the throwing error. And so an E1 after a weird ricochet off of Jernigan's body. Now puts a runner at second, and it's going to be a courtesy runner for the Tigers. As now up comes the left fielder, number 4, Luke Dietz. The courtesy runner is number 3, Adi Arian. First pitch, and it's fouled. Out of play for strike one. Dietz, his last time up, he dropped a bunt single up the first base line and later came in to score on Tombasia's two-out double. Now up with a runner at second and two down. Jernigan takes a beat off the rubber to keep Arian honest. That pitch comes in high for ball one. That one misses as well for ball two. This one's hit, and it's over Ham's glove into center. Arian rounding third, heading for home. Throw's not going to come in time. The Tigers now have four. Their second straight inning with a two-out RBI hit as Dietz singles to bring in Arian. We cycle around to the top of the order with the shortstop, number 24, Miles Ooh. Runner taking off. Ooh lifts it out to center, and it's going to be caught by Kravitz this time for out number three. We are through four here at Newton North. The Tigers put another run on the board and extend their lead. The score, Newton North 4, Brookline 0. At this fourth inning intermission, I'd like to take a moment for a local charity spotlight. I'd like to tell you about the Brookline Education Foundation. The Brookline Education Foundation raises funds to help promote growth and innovation among Brookline educators, growth that can then be passed on to the children of this community. For over 40 years, this foundation has given out a variety of grants across the educational landscape. These include Idea Lab grants for teachers that want to present their students with new and exciting projects, and teacher grants for educators that want to further develop their own skills to bring to the classroom. Many initiatives which have become staples in the public schools of Brookline started as BEF grants. They support literacy education training, new methods in STEM education, project-based learning, mentoring of new principals and superintendents, and collaborative work around diversity, equity, and inclusion, just to name a few. Visit brooklinefoundation.org or call 617-232-3846 to find out how you can help support our town's educators and, through them, our students. Once again, that's brooklinefoundation.org or call 617-232-3846. And remember, as always, you can see all the information you need about our local charity spotlight down in the description section down below. First pitch of the fifth inning catches the zone for a strike. At bat for the Warriors, the first baseman, number 16, Sam Polgreen. Another one catches the inside corner for strike two. Polgreen, his last time up, he popped out to first. That one comes in high for ball one. Swing and a miss, strike three. Polgreen caught chasing that one high and outside. One down here in the fifth. Now up the shortstop, number 13, Felix Ham. Ham, his last time up, he popped out to the pitcher, lifts one high and deep to left now. Dietz on his horse, cannot catch it. Ham racing down to second. Felix Ham making his presence known on the varsity squad late in the year. His first career varsity hit is going to be a double to left field. Now up, the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. Sawada reaches, hits a grounder over to short, fielded by Ooh. Quick throw to first. Sawada out at first. Ham advances to third. Now batting the center fielder, number 3, Ryan Kravitz. First pitch high, ball 1. Next pitch in the dirt, ball 2. Kravitz hits a grounder over to short, fielded by Ooh, thrown to first. And again, Newton North keeps the Warriors off the board as that ends the 5th. Score still 4-0. Sky's starting to get dark and the wind's starting to whip up a bit as the clouds come out here at Newton North. Important to keep an eye on. We have finished 4 innings, so this is an official game at this point. So if the rain forces them to call it, then the game would count. Jernigan back on the hill for the 5th. Due up will be the 2, 3, 4 hitters for Newton North: Huckabone, Tombasia, and Perrone. This top portion of the lineup has been giving Jernigan most of his struggles on the mound so far today. Huckabone, of course, had that RBI triple back in the first. Tombasia had an RBI ground out that same inning and then an RBI double in the third. Now leading off, the second baseman, number 6, Ryan Huckabone, as he chases the first pitch in the dirt for strike 1. Huckabone, his last time up, grounded out to third as he swings and misses at that one for strike 2. So he's 1 for 2 so far with a triple, a run, and an RBI. Swing and a miss. 3 pitches, 3 strikes. Huckabone goes down swinging. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. Now up, the first baseman, number 25, Danny Tombasia. Tombasia 1 for 2 with a double and 2 RBI so far today. Takes that one for ball 1. That pitch in there for strike 1. That's going to be high for ball 2. This one is skied foul and out of play for strike 2. That one misses way outside for ball 3. Full count now to Tambasia. Jernigan takes a beat off the rubber. This one is lifted by Tambasia out to center, but it's tracked by Kravitz for out number 2. Now up the third baseman, number 14, Sam Perrone. First pitch fouled off, strike 1. Perrone, his last time up, drew a walk. Before that, grounded out to second. 0 for 1 with a walk. Takes high ball 1 there. That one misses for ball 2. This one's a hard grounder over to short, fielded cleanly by Ham, thrown to first, and that is out number 3. Jernigan puts them down in order, but Brookline still in need of some offense. Through 5, the score. The Newton North High Tigers 4, the Brookline High Warriors 0. Due up will be the 3, 4, 5 hitters for Brookline: Brendel, Siegel, and Jernigan. Victor Kyra back on the mound for his 6th inning of work now, as he has done an excellent job keeping the Brookline batters off the scoreboard through the first 5 innings. And it isn't like he's been, crazy dominant or unhittable or anything like that. In fact, he's allowed a runner into scoring position in all but 1 of his 5 innings so far. He's just been very cool under pressure and pitched well with run for Brookline, the right fielder, number 23, Elias Brendel. Brendel lifts the first pitch he sees out to right. If that drops fair, it is a fair ball. Brendel is going to hold at first with a leadoff single. Well placed by Brendel, as another runner reaches base, but as Brookline has seen throughout this game so far, home is a long way away. Now up the left fielder, number 20, Harrison Siegel. First pitch in the dirt, well blocked by Hurley, lost track of it for a second, but gets it in time to hold the runner. That pitch in there, first strike 1. Siegel, his last time up, went down on strikes to end the 3rd. Before that, went down on strikes back in the 1st. Brendel takes off. Pitches in there for a strike. Brendel slides in, safe. Again, the throw very close to the runner. Fortunately, not much you can do about that defensively. Runners got to get to the base. 1-2, now the count. That one's in the dirt, gets away from Hurley, and Brendel is going to take third on the wild pitch. Brendel just the second base runner to reach third for Brookline. Now at third with nobody out. That one in there for strike three. Siegel goes down on strikes. And that is one down. And if you're Brookline right now, your goal has got to be to put a ball in play. Give Brendel a chance to go home. Now batting the pitcher, number 12, Connor Jernigan. First pitch in there for strike one. Jernigan, 0 for 2 so far today. He is lined out to Miles Ooh at short both times. Big swing and a miss there for strike two. Hits this one in play, and that's going to go up the middle for a clean RBI single. Brendel trots home, and Brookline is on the board. Jernigan has had good contact all of his plate appearances so far, but finally gets one in the right spot. Sends it up the gap in the middle for the RBI single. Now with one out, there's a runner at first. Brookline trails Newton North still 4-1. Coming up now, the third baseman, number 11, Nate Kessler. Wind's starting to really blow out here in Newton. Jernigan taking off for second. Kessler desperately swings the high pitch. The throw gets away. And so Jernigan is going to take second. Kessler kind of just took a desperate hack at that pitch, not necessarily to hit it, but to at least, you know, make the catcher flinch for a second scoring position. That pitch is going to miss for ball one. Kessler, his last time up, flew out to left. Before that, he walked. That one drops low for ball two. 2-1, the count two. That pitch in there for a strike. 2-2, now the count. That one sails way over Kessler's head, and my camera almost gets blown over as the wind really whipping out here in Newton. Full count now to Kessler. And Kyra takes a beat off the mound to check on Jernigan. Full count to Kessler. Kessler hits a grounder. It gets through the third baseman, and Jernigan is going to advance to third. Kessler over to first safely. Not sure what they'll score that one. If they score that one a single or an E5, probably an E5. But for now, runners at the corners, and now the coach coming out to visit the pitcher as Brookline's starting to get some offense going, and I just felt a raindrop. The weather looks like it's going to be a factor late in this one. Due up for Brookline now will be the catcher, number 14, Avery Melton, as the Tigers try and decide what to do on the mound. It looks like they're going to stick with Kyra for now. Runners at the corners for Brookline now. With one out, winds really gusting out here in Newton. And Kessler already taking off, and Kessler in a pickle. Jernigan diving back to third, and Kessler takes second. Chaotic but ultimately productive base running for Brookline as Kessler steals second, and Jernigan stays safe at third. One out, two runners in scoring position. Melton, of course, was the hero of that walk-off win against Wellesley last week. Can he come through with something big here with two runners in scoring position, his team down 3? First pitch is going to miss for ball 1. Melton pops this one into shallow center. It is snagged by Huckabone for out number 2. Big catch by Huckabone there for out number 2. Here in the top of the 6th. Now coming up for Brookline, it might be a pinch hitter. It looks like they are going to pinch hit for Polgreen. Let's see who they're going to send out. As we see a guy was pulling off his jersey there to come out and get ready to step up to the plate. He'll be pinch hitting for Polgreen. This is going to be number 2, Owen Hoffman. Two down, runners at second and third. First pitch in the dirt, well blocked by Hurley. That's going to be ball 1. And Hoffman hits one. It's a dribbler over to short, fielded by Ooh, thrown to first in time. Newton North gets out of the jam. Brookline gets a run on the board and threatened to do more. But the Newton North defense stood tall and took care of business. And as we head into the bottom of the 6th, with the weather getting worse by the 2nd, the score, the Newton North High Tigers 4, the Brookline High Warriors 1. Looks like Brookline is still going to stick with Jernigan on the mound. Due up for Newton North is going to be the 5, 6, 7 hitters, Mayoka, Mayoka, Pellone and Rogan. Whoa. Four to one the score as Jernigan got the RBI single to drive in Brendel. Brookline put runners at second and third, but just could not get that extra hit they needed. Now, leading off for Newton North is this a pinch hitter? I don't think it is. The first pitch is ball one. At the plate should be the center fielder, number one, Dominic Mayoka, as he shows bunt but pulls back as he takes ball two. And that's a high ball three. Mayoka with a hitter's count here at 3-0. And that's going to be a four-pitch walk to start us off here in the bottom of the sixth. Rain's really starting to come down now. The wind's whipping hard, and that is going to be the end of the day for Jernigan. And it looks like they're going to bring out number 17, Charlie Engelman, to pitch the rest of the way. Wind really getting intense out here in Newton. Let's pull up some numbers here. Engelman making his team-leading 11th pitching appearance, his 9th in relief. He's got a 2-3 win-loss record. He's pitched 19 innings so far this season, struck out 14. He's got a 4.42 ERA and a 1. So Engelman has proved himself a solid reliever for Brookline. He takes over for Jernigan now. If there are no lead changes, Jernigan will be on hook for the loss. Though not due to a bad pitching performance, I would say more just due to a stronger pitching performance from the opposition, as Victor Kyra has pitched 6 innings of one-run baseball. Raindrops very much coming down out here at Newton North. Wind whipping through as well. I don't know, something about bring out the rain clouds, I guess. First pitch to Pellone is swung on and missed for strike one. Mayoka at first with nobody out here in the bottom of the sixth. And this one's a grounder. It's going to get past Kessler and into left for a single. Back-to-back base runners for the Tigers. No outs with 2 men on, and up comes the right fielder, number 22, Mike Rogan. Adi Aryan gonna run. Of course, Rogan had the big home run swing the last time these two teams faced off. Now at the plate with 2 runners on. and a team trying to extend their lead late in this contest. Looks like I think the umps might have been discussing with the coaches whether they wanted to keep this one going. Now that the weather's gotten bad, they do have the power to call this one and end it. Oh no, what they said, they couldn't bring in Arian as a courtesy runner for Pallone. That's what the call was. So Pallone back to first. First pitch to Rogan is swung on and missed for strike one. So Pallone back at first. Mayoka at second. Nobody out. Swung on and missed. A throw back to first. Pallone gets back safe. 0-2 is the count to Rogan. That pitch gonna miss outside, ball one. One and two, the count to Rogan. Swing and a miss. Rogan down on strikes. Sorry, folks, harsh wind here. Not going to be able to update the scoreboard for a sec, but there is one out here as up comes the catcher, number 11, Kyle Hurley. First pitch in there, strike one. Trying to keep up with my updates on the scoreboard here, but the wind whipping around, threatening to knock over all of my equipment out here. Juggling a few things out here, folks. 0-2, the count to Hurley. Hurley down on strikes. Back-to-back Ks for Engelman. Now stepping into the box, the left fielder, number 4, Luke Dietz. Dietz 2 for 2 with a run and an RBI so far today. Takes strike one. Engelman turns around on the runners. Now stares back in at Dietz. That throw misses high and out for ball 1. This one's a grounder over to first. It's juggled but collected by Polgreen, flips to first, and Engelman beats him to the bag. Newton North puts up a threat in the bottom of the 6th, but ultimately cannot get any runs across. Engelman puts down 3 straight. And we now head to the top of the 7th. Last chance for Brookline. And due up for the Warriors will be the 9-1-2 hitters, Ham, Sawada, and Kravitz. And Victor Kyra back out on the mound for Newton North to try and complete this game. After last 4 1/3 innings against Brookline earlier this season and giving up 7 runs, 5 of them earned on double-digit hits, he's done a spectacular job for the Tigers here today, allowing just 1 run through the first 6. Leading off for Brookline, the shortstop, number 13, Felix Ham. Ham had his first career hit for the varsity squad. His last time up, a big double out to left, but he was left stranded at third. First pitch, and he lines one over the third baseman into left. Warriors fans, may I introduce you to Felix Ham. Flashed some skills with the glove on Monday, and now flashing some skills with the bat here on Wednesday. His second straight hit. Brookline's got a leadoff runner on here in the 7th. Now up, the second baseman, number 5, Keenan Sawada. First pitch hits him. Sawada with a free pass down to first. Brookline's got 2 runners on. The tying run is now technically at the plate. And we've got a mound visit as the coach waves off the rest of the infield. Wants to talk to Kyra himself along with Hurley. And it looks like for now they are going to stick with Kyra. They're going to have some action going in the bullpen. But Brookline trying to put together a late inning threat here. Due up, the center fielder, number 3, Ryan Kravitz. Ham at second, Sawada at first, Kravitz at the plate. And Kyra takes a beat off the rubber to check on the runners. Now stares back in. First pitch inside, ball 1. Looks like the stream connection might have gotten a little shaky. I hope it evens itself out, as we got another miss for ball 2. Brookline trying to make some magic happen late in this one. Kravitz reaches out, hits one, fielded by it's short, misses the throw to third. Ham gets back up and thinks about running home, but ultimately retreats. Bases now loaded as Kravitz reaches on a fielder's choice and everyone reaches safely on an E6. Bases now loaded with nobody out for Brookline here in the 7th. Coming up, the right fielder, number 23, Elias Brendel, tying run at first here with the bases juiced. Another big gust of wind. First pitch misses outside to Brendel, ball 1. That one in the dirt, well blocked by Hurley, but it is going to be ball 2 to Brendel. Ham at third, Sawada at second. Kravitz at first, representing the potential tying run. 2-0 the count to Brendel. That one misses as well, ball 3. One more ball brings in a run and puts the tying run at second. That one in there for a strike. Brendel thought he had ball 4, but he did not. 3-1 the count. And Brendel fouls that one off. Chased that one low, and now we've got a full count. And a timeout was called as we reset for the payoff pitch. And that one sails in high. Brendel does draw the bases loaded walk. Brookline gets another run on the board. And now the coach coming out, and this might be the end of the day for Victor Kyra. Felix Ham comes in to score his first career varsity run, and that will be the end of the day for Kyra. For the Tigers will be number 28, who is not on my roster. It is James Kelleher, who is the only guy with a blank where his number should have been on the roster, so that works. So Kyra leaves the mound after 6+ innings of work. Right now, two earned runs on the day. And of course, 3 inherited runners left for Kelleher as he gets ready to face the cleanup hitter for Brookline, Harrison Siegel. Sawada at second. Sawada at third. Kravitz at second, the potential game-tying run. Brendel at first, the potential go-ahead run. As even with a reliever already out there, more action going in the Tigers' pen. As it looks like they're giving Perron a brief warm-up before he goes back to third base. Now stepping into the box for Brookline, the left fielder, number 20, Harrison Siegel. Siegel's gone down on strikes on all three of his previous at-bats, but does he have a hit in him here? First pitch from Kelleher, high and inside for ball one. I mentioned before, Siegel, the team leader in hit by pitch, if there was a time for it, but not on that pitch. He takes strike one. Siegel also tied for the team lead in RBI with 6. And he lifts this one. This is going to stay in play. And it's going to be caught by Hurley for out number 1. One down now. And for Brookline, up comes the pitcher, number 17, Charlie Engelman. First pitch is high for ball one. Engelman's had a few big hits so far this season. Does he have one here? Not on that pitch. Strike one. One out, bases loaded, 4-2, the Newton North lead. Swing and a miss. Strike two. And Engelman lifts this one. Is it going to stay in play? No, it is not. That's going to go out of play, and Engelman stays alive at 1-2. That one catches the corner. Engelman goes down on strikes. Kelleher coming up clutch so far in this relief outing. The Tigers now 1 out away from holding on and securing the win. Wind gusting in as up comes the third baseman, number 11, Nate Kessler. First pitch in the zone for strike one. Brookline down to their final out. Tying run stands at second. Kessler at the plate. Swing and a miss there, strike two. Brookline down to their final strike out here in Newton. That one comes in over his head, ball one. A strike here would end the game. A base hit to the outfield could tie it up. That one misses high for ball two. And Kessler caught a piece of it and stays alive. Boy, if this ain't the kind of intense situation that just makes you love baseball. Two local rivals battling and out, battling each other and battling the elements. One team fighting to clinch a last-minute spot in the playoffs. One fighting to play spoiler at the end of the year. Tying run at second. 2 outs, 2 strikes, bases loaded. And that one misses. Almost got away from Hurley, but that will be ball 3. We've got a full count, 2 outs, bases loaded in a close game between 2 local rivals in a rainstorm. Swing and a miss. Kelleher delivers the save, and the Tigers hold on. Brookline made it a fight there at the end, but couldn't push those last runs across. The final score here at Newton North High School: the Newton North High Tigers 4, the Brookline High Warriors 2. The Tigers improved to 9-10 on the season, and if they win their last regular season game, regardless of the power rankings, they will automatically qualify for the MIAA Division I tournament with a 500 record. Brookline, meanwhile, falls to 4-15 on the year, and they will wrap up their season at Cambridge Ringe on Friday. Well, I want to pack up my equipment before the weather gets any worse than this, so I'm just going to wrap this one up. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Remember, if you enjoyed this live stream, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. I'll be on the volleyball court at Schluntz Gym back in Brookline tomorrow night for Brookline Boys Volleyball's senior night game against Newton South. And I'll be back on the diamond on Friday for Brookline's regular season finale at Cambridge Ringe. Be sure to stay tuned for those. Subscribing to the channel can help. Thank you to all those who brought the good vibes in the live chat today. If there's anything else you would like to say, I encourage you to say it in the comment section down below. Looks like you guys might have lost connection at some point, which is unfortunate because this was truly an epic finish. But if this got really bad, then I'll upload a recording later tonight. But anyway, if there's anything you'd like to say and the live stream is over, you can say it in the comment section down below. You can also go down below to the description section of the video for information about our local charity spotlight, the Brookline Education Foundation. Also, check out the bottom right corner of your screen for more information about me. My personal website, jessesports.com. Find out more about me, the freelance sportscasting services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. You can also email me directly with any questions or requests you may have. And you can also follow me on Instagram, where I sometimes post highlights from previous live streams. But for this live stream, that is going to do it. Final score, Newton North 4, Brookline 2. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan out here at Newton North High School. Thank you all for watching, and have a good night.